Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 111 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. Very tired. We have just... No, we haven't... Sorry, let's rewind a little bit. We haven't just got back from Bolton, but it feels like we have. So we had to drop Sian's dad off, my dad off. Then we had to go and get some food. We've stuffed that food into our face. We've recharged phones to make sure that we had them to record.
I've done the socials.
Yeah, and yeah, so we're now straight into recording this, because if we didn't do it tonight, then it wouldn't be ready for Monday. I've got to be up for work in like 6 hours, so we're going to get on with it and move forward. I think on this show we've always tried to be honest with everyone who watches or listens. And I think in 111 episodes, this is probably the first one where I've sort of gone, I'm not sure I can be bothered. It has been such a long day.
It has. I've been awake since 3 with our beautiful King Charles Cavalier, Poppy, who has decided to start acting like a newborn baby. And it's made me, I said to your mum and dad yesterday, it's made me realise that I do not want another baby because I can't handle getting up so early. It's just...
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with her at the moment. She's a bit all over the place. I don't know if it's the humidity or what, but yeah, she's a pain.
Or she's just a massive pain in the bum.
Yeah, there's that as well. So, so yeah, it shouldn't have been as long of a day as it was, but we'll get onto that in a little bit as to why it was a really long day. So yeah, let's see how this one goes, I suppose.
Do you know what? This one could be our best one yet.
Do you know, when we always say, what I've always noticed is when we've gone, I don't know how this is going to go, this could go anyway, it always seems to go all right.
Yeah.
So it's when we put loads of planning and effort in, then it doesn't, you sort of go, oh, it didn't quite go as I thought it would, that would. So let's just see.
Get on with it and see.
Look, on this week's show, we're going to go through some of your questions and comments from last week's show. We're going to have a little chat about the Sheffield United game last Tuesday. We're going to have a chat about the away game at Bolton, which we were at today, a few hours ago. And then...
Well, yesterday, if you watch it, obviously, when you're watching this.
Obviously, yeah, when you're watching this. I think for anybody who's watched this for a long time, they know the drill by now.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to have a look ahead to our next league game, which is against Reading on Saturday.
And I would have done, by next Saturday, I would have done a week in my new job.
Yes, so Sian starts... by the time this podcast comes out... Sian would have done her first day in a new job.
Yep.
So that's exciting. Nerve-wracking.
Scared. Yeah. Although, today, when we were leaving...
Yes.
I met somebody who works for Portable Foods. He came up to me and he said, are you starting at Portable... Oh, I just said the name of the company.
It's all right.
Oops. That's why I'm starting. So yeah, he said, are you starting? And I was like, yes, I'm starting tomorrow. And he went, oh, my name's Steve. Hi, Steve. Don't know if you watch this. But yeah, so I've met my first, well, not my first colleague, because obviously I've met people there already. Yeah. But yeah, so that was nice of him to come up to me and say hello.
Yes.
So we shook hands.
Yeah.
Very polite-like.
Yes.
So yeah, I am excited, but I am really bricking it as well.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, isn't it? Look, some of the comments from last week. We had Angela. See, it started already. I can't even read the names out properly. Angela. Hi, greetings from New Zealand. Have been following you for a while. First time I've left a comment. Great Great content and love to see the interaction between you and the wife. Thank you very much, Angela. Wow, comment more. We love it when people comment.
Yeah. How amazing our marriage is.
Just a little thing about the Wi-Fi, because I was sort of moaning about it last week. Gavin and Rob both commented. He said Gavin said he was at the game last Saturday. The Wickham game. He got on the free Wi-Fi. It's definitely there, guys. He said, great pod as usual. And Rob said also there is free Wi-Fi in Tech End. Anyway, was not the best. So maybe
think somebody did say though, because we're in the Macron stand, we might have picked up the hospitality Wi-Fi.
We definitely were picking up the hospitality Wi-Fi.
Because it was asking for a password.
Yeah.
So obviously we're at the Reading game.
Sorry, that bottle makes a really weird noise.
It does.
Yeah.
When we're at the Reading game on Saturday, then we will try again, and we will obviously keep you updated. But everyone's saying that they've got it. If anyone
cares, it was just sort of me moaning about it. Really,
it was. Neil Walker, he has put, hi both, Birmingham are chasing a 6 million striker according to the boy in blue. Wrexham will not be anywhere near these prices, but still we are building a really strong squad. By the way, really enjoyed the show.
Yeah. So Rob has also said, here's a question for you both. What is your current favourite chant?
Ooh, well, there was some new ones at the Bolton away game today.
There was.
Which I quite enjoyed.
Yes.
I like the Okonkwo one.
Yeah.
But I think my favourite's either the Stephen Fletcher or the James McLean chant.
I like the James McLean one.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I think it feels a little bit, the Okonkwo one's a bit more fun for me. And it's like, and you don't, as long as you know the tune, there's no words to learn or anything like that. It's literally, you just need to know his name and you just need to know the tune, so I quite like the Okonkwo one because I think it's quite an inclusive chant.
Yes.
You can literally, anyone can sing it. And, like I say, you've just got to know the tune. That is it,
Yeah, there are some lyrics, if you can call them lyrics, in the James McLean one, which I'm not 100% about. So I just kind of pretend I'm covering my mouth or having a cough or something when they come up, so I don't look like I'm an idiot.
It's a little bit awkward for us because I get into it and I sing whatever. But obviously we do have a 12-year-old. Now, we're not naive enough, Kids are kids. I've been a kid, obviously. Sian's been a kid. You know what it's like.
Oh, I didn't swear when I was a kid.
No, I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying you know what kids are like, though, of around that sort of early teenage years. It's not like he hasn't heard it before, but it does...
Usually from my potty mouth.
But you do sort of feel a bit weird singing stuff like that around your kids. Not everyone does, don't get me wrong.
Like sheep things.
Yes, it just feels a bit weird sometimes singing it with your kid next to you, I think.
If any of us do swear, if a swear word does slip out, which it can occasionally.
Especially at the football.
Alfie does pull us up on it, doesn't he? And when he's playing on his Xbox or whatever, and his friends or somebody online swears, he will bring them up on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think he's much of a swearer, which is great to know. But being surrounded by that, you're not going to get away from it. It's a football chant.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't want your kids to hear it, then unfortunately.
So Rob, it answers your question.
What's your worst chant?
I tell you the one I don't like. I really don't like, and we've heard it. We heard it at the Bolton game. It's football in a library. Really annoys me. I don't know why, but I don't know what it is about it. It just gets to me a little bit.
There was another one that you said you didn't like as well.
Yeah, there is another one. I can't remember what it was. There's two that I do quite annoy me. I like all of the chants that are about players.
Yeah.
I can really get into and get behind. And like Sian says, there's a couple of new ones, which I hadn't actually heard before.
No.
So we're like, okay, they're good. We'll have to get into them. But anything that's...
Sorry, the Bolton's just a bus stop on the way to Wigan or something like that, wasn't it?
You're just a bus stop in Wigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like that, I don't mind. I don't know what it is about football in in a library, it just annoys me, and I don't know why it annoys me, but it just really gets to me, that one. I just can't get on board with that one at all. So,
Bryant at Rex Hub, we just want to actually say a massive thank you to Brian, because every single week, without fail, he does it with other podcasts, but he always shares our new episodes when they come out. So thank you so much, Brian. It's a massive help, and we really do appreciate it. Hey, me, the wife from Wrexham AFC, got a question for your pod. When the Wrexham YouTube account posts a AAA match video, what does that mean? What are they referring to?
So, I have actually already replied to Bryant.
Yes,
separately,
but other people maybe.
I didn't know if this was something that people know what AAA is, or whether it was a case of people just went, oh, it's just called AAA. I don't know what that means, but I'm just going to quantify what I'm saying by, I'm not 100% sure what I'm saying is right, but I'm pretty sure what I'm saying is right. I think AAA stands for Access All Areas, because the AAA videos are very much sort of like a sort of behind the scenes a little bit. You get to see in the changing rooms, you get to see in the tunnel, you get to see the stuff that we wouldn't necessarily always see. Yes, you get to see some of the game from different angles and all that sort of stuff, but for me, I'm pretty sure it's Access All Areas.
But if somebody knows any different,
please tell us.
I actually thought it meant it was like the three people who did it their names started with A, but
that might be the case as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think
it makes more sense to be triple Access All Areas.
I think it's Access All Areas. So yeah, if anybody didn't know that, then there you go. There's the answer to that one.
Well, it's an it's an answer.
It's an answer.
It's an answer.
Whether it's the answer, we're not 100% sure. I would say I'm in the 90% sure. But yeah, no, I couldn't say 100% for definite.
Yeah.
Look, if anybody wants to get in touch, you can get in touch on X, on Facebook. Are we still throwing threads out there?
Well, yeah, because stuff's getting posted there.
Okay. X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or email us at methewife@gmail.com.
And if you would also like to support the show, then you can visit our Buy Me a Coffee page, and our link is buymeacoffee.com/methewife. Yeah, and we had a message, I had a message from it was to me, basically. Technically, this part is mine. To buy lots of coffee. So it's from Sarah, who obviously is a friend of the show. We've met Sarah, and she interacts with us, and she is a lovely person. She's put best of luck with the new job.
There you go.
So I want that. Joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that, Sarah, this week.
It.
Sarah actually was on our live, so we did after it's a bit awkward at the moment, because we always promise to do half-time lives and
we should always lives. Put a caveat on that.
Well, we do. We try to, but it was the same again today. We could do a full-time one, but unfortunately we weren't able to do a half-time one. Sarah was actually on the full-time one, and she did comment, because we did it from the car, that she quite liked our red seatbelts in the car.
So Ryan just showed them all the red trims that we had in our car.
We've got quite a bit of red trim, yeah. And she was asking, I think, if if that was added later. I'm assuming as like some sort of Wrexham theme, but no, we bought it.
Oh no, do you know what? That didn't even cross my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was, Sarah. That is why we have the red seatbelts. No, it's not.
Anyway, let's move on to a bit of news. What's going on everywhere. So, Jordan Davis news.
Yes.
So, obviously, he's at Grimsby at the moment. Still our player, just out on loan. He played on Saturday, scored the opener for Grimsby. Really good header. And then they were playing Cheltenham. At half-time, Cheltenham brought a sub on. Another familiar face. Luke Young came on. Luke Young scored. And then Jordan Davis actually scored a 93rd minute winner. Great free kick.
Oh, a brilliant goal.
25 yards out. Brilliant. He got man of the match. Great. I suppose for me, the question is...
Bring him back.
No. I was going to say, do we bring him back? But I'm really happy he's getting minutes somewhere, because there's a great player in there. We all know there's a great player in there. You know, he was with us early on in his career. He went off to Brighton, and he was with the Brighton sort of like academy under 21 setup down there. You know, obviously Brighton are a Premier League outfit. They saw something in him. They took him up there. He was there for a few years. We then bought him back again, and he was great for us. Did tail off a little bit, you know, in certain, you know, especially last season wasn't great for him. But we know there's a great player there, and I think I'm just really happy he's getting minutes somewhere. Not just plodding on, getting minutes, grinding it out, but he's getting good quality minutes in. He's scoring,
he's doing well.
He's scoring goals. He's scoring important goals, you know, not just any old goal. And he's got a man of the match in there. I really want him to push on and keep doing well, and hopefully we can welcome him back into the fold. I suppose the question really is, he had his best seasons for us probably in the National League, you would say. He didn't feature as much in League Two. So now he's, you know, we're up in League One. He's gone back to Grimsby, League Two. I suppose the question would have to be asked at some point whether he's found his level. If you get what I mean. Not being rude, not being horrible to Jordan in any way, but you know, is League Two where he belongs, in the sense of, you know, he can play really well, and he can score goals, and he can be really creative at a League Two level? Or are we going to be able to welcome him back in at some point, and he's going to be able to do it after he's got them minutes under his belt? Is he going to be able to push on and do that in League One?
Yeah.
That's the big question, I think, for me. I think what I hope is it's just a case of he needed to build some confidence, get some proper minutes, get back to scoring goals like we all know he can, stand out in a team that, you know, people look and go, he's a great player. And just everything is building up this confidence again, where we can take him back and he will slot straight back in.
I definitely think he's becoming a fan, you know, what's the saying? He's becoming a fan favourite at Grimsby, I think, you know.
I think he will do. I think it's quite...
scoring 2 goals.
Yeah, no,
one
but
in
it's
the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
I think, I like Jordan Davis. And it's actually, because obviously we're recording this on Sunday, it's his birthday today. I have done a post, but we wish you a very happy birthday, Jordan. Not that you watch us, but you know.
Might do. Who knows?
You know.
Who knows? Comment down below if you do.
The Wrexham Academy beat Accrington 3-0 to make it 2 out of 2 wins from so far from this season. 2 wins from 2 wins. I don't know.
2 out of 2, yeah.
Yeah, 2 out of 2.
2 out of 2. Look,
which is brilliant.
I think I'm really excited about our academy at the moment, because it definitely seems to be pushing on. We haven't produced loads. That's pushed its way into the first team. We've obviously got Cleworth. We got
Max.
We got Max. We had a little chat. We had a little chat with who were we talking to today? Andy, sorry. Oh, for God, it's one of them days. I had a little chat with Andy, and he said it's Cleworth. Cleworth. Not Cleworth. Cleworth.
He did. I think Andy said
he did it better than I did.
He did, yeah. I think that Max, I'm not saying his surname, actually said in an interview the right way of saying it.
Yeah.
So just go find that. If you don't, you know, believe us,
don't listen to us.
Yeah, don't, just go and watch the interview and kind of pick it up yourself, or do what we're going to start doing and just call him Max. Because we can just, yeah,
definitely. Anyway, we're talking about the academy. Yeah, I am really excited. It would be nice to start seeing lots of players pushing through from the academy. We always have players coming through, and they seem to sit on the fringes a little bit. and then maybe sometimes disappear.
Yeah.
And you don't really see much of them, and they end up, drifting off and doing other things and bits at other clubs. So it would be nice to see some regular talent coming through that academy, and I think we're definitely heading in the right direction with the academy.
Definitely.
They seem to win a lot of games as well, so
and not just by one goal. They seem to score quite a few. So
yeah. A quick one about the club shop for anybody. We do know this goes out worldwide, and this won't really matter to a lot of people, but it might do if you're visiting. The club shop from the 17th of August. The club shop will be open from 9 until 5 on a Saturday, as in non-match days. So if you are visiting Wrexham, I can't remember, it used to close early, didn't it? I think it was
like 12
o'clock on a Saturday. It used to close. Now it's going to be open all day. So if you are local, there's a bit of info for you. Or if you are visiting, I do know there's a couple of people who've been over visiting. They've been here on a Saturday when the team are playing away or in the off season. They've gone to go to the club shop and it's been closed because they've gone in the afternoon. From the 17th, it will be open until 5 on a Saturday,
and still closed on a Sunday, obviously, because everyone needs a day off.
Yeah, let's have a little chat about Sheffield United. The Bolton game is going to be fun because we've been at the game. I've made 0 notes, so we're going to see how that one pans out. Sheffield United, anyway. It was only James McLean who kept his place.
Yep.
So it's a full change. Apart from Jimmy, he was in there. We keep making this joke that I've got a feeling he's got something written in his contract that he plays every game. I don't know, but because he always seems to keep his place, or if he is the new permanent captain, and I know it says it on the website that he is the captain. I don't know if that's just a temporary thing or whatever, but if he is the permanent captain, if anyone's going to play every game, it makes sense to be him.
He just loves being on that pitch, doesn't he?
Fit enough to do it as well. I think that's the key point about him. Yeah, definitely. New signing Ollie Rathbone started.
Yep.
Alongside our other summer signings, Dan Scarr, Lewis Brunt, Callum Burton and Seb Revon. 2
call-outs for those, obviously those players that you've just mentioned. Callum Burton, I think he's great. I think he did really well. I know he let some goals in. I know he let goals in, but I think I do think he's a relative. What do I know? I think he's good, but the person that I am very excited about, and obviously we will talk a bit more about him when we talk about the Bolton game, but Seb Revon. I think he's going to be a little superb signing for us.
Yeah, I agree with you. Is Callum Burton just Anthony Ford in goal, though? Because they look the same. They're the spit of each other. Have you ever seen them two together?
I don't think I have.
No, I'm just saying.
You should have, because you sent us a picture.
Why is Anthony Ford not playing anymore?
Because he's a goalkeeper.
Because he's in goal
and
now.
He's changed his name.
Yes.
You sent a picture on it. We've got a Wrexham AFC group that's got my brother, me, Ryan, and Ryan's dad in it. And my dad removed himself from it. Don't know why, but he did. And you sent a picture of Anthony Ford and of Callum Burton, and it is quite spooky. I think we need to put it on our socials, don't we, so people can see, because it is quite spooky. Like the facial hair, the hair colouring, some of the feature, it is very spooky.
Same person.
Yeah.
Telling you, same person.
Yeah.
He's that's why he's not been around. He's been doing some goalkeeper training in his spare time. He's got to a level where he's gone, did anyone ever see this so-called Callum Burton playing for Plymouth? I don't think so. Because he's playing right back at Wrexham, that's why. I'm not having it. Same person, 100%. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. Look, JJ started his first competitive game.
It was good to see him back on the pitch.
It was. First competitive game since the 17th of Feb. He did play in America. That's why I'm saying competitive. Because obviously they were friendlies out in America. So he did start one of them games. I can't remember which one it was now. But yeah, so good to see him playing again.
Yep.
How much he's going to feature, I really don't know. Because if you would have asked me at the start of the season, If I thought George Evans was going to be sidelined because of someone new coming in, I would have thought not in a million years
You
is
were
that going to
adamant.
happen.
You were like, no, George Evans, no.
No, I know, and that's what seems to be happening.
Twice now.
Yes, so I'm not sure how much hope I hold out for JJ getting a lot of minutes in this team. But stranger things have happened and you just don't know.
Is he a possibility to go out on loan, do you think?
No, I think we want to keep quite a strong midfield. He can definitely do a job when he's called upon. So you don't want to start throwing people out on loan left, right and centre. I don't think so. No, he's staying around. We went 1-0 up. Will Boyle from a corner. Yes, happy? Sorry, you just look really confused.
I'm very confused because... you've put that word there. And I don't know.
Yes. So there is. Sorry. Yeah. So in case you're wondering what Sian is talking about, I do notes for the podcast every week. Some of the notes are sort of universal notes. They're for Sian to read, for me to read, but every now and again, I just put a little note in there, which is just something to remind me of something, and then you can always see Sian reading it, going, I haven't got a clue what that means.
And, no, I know what it means.
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't mean what I've written. It's just something to trigger something in my brain to talk about.
Okay.
So anyway, we went 1-0 up from a corner. I think we were set up in such a way that we had a big, strong, dominant presence in the air. And I think that's how we'd sort of set up, because... Sheffield United, they made 11 changes from their team the Saturday before as well. And I think they were quite a youthful team that they put out there. And I think we were always going to win more balls in the air than them. So it wasn't a huge surprise we went 1-0 up from a corner. The thing I just wanted to mention was... Will Boyle's goal animation.
Yes!
So if you haven't seen this... It's Will Boyle when he scores, which obviously isn't going to happen very often. On Wrexham's Twitter, they might do it on Facebook as well, but I spend most of my time on X, Twitter, whatever.
Yeah.
And they've got like it's like a 1 second like animation of Will Boyle just sort of like growling down the camera. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I thought it was amazing.
I bet he felt a bit awkward doing that.
It didn't look like he did. It looked like it's something that he does every morning when he wakes up. Just growls. That's something. It was great, and I just wanted to mention that. If you haven't seen it, head over to the Wrexham page and just scroll back to Tuesday's posts.
Just put in the search bar Will Boyle and it should it
should do. Yeah.
So Sheffield United drew level 6 minutes later, almost cleared off the line by JJ.
Yeah, it was given by the old watch, the buzz on the watch. So we were JJ cleared it off the line. The ref give it. And it just goes to show how we're used to the lower leagues, really, because we're not used to goal line technology and all that sort of stuff. And the ref give it, and JJ was going, no, it didn't go in. And the ref's going, I've got a watch here, mate, that tells me it's gone in. There's no, I didn't make the decision. Linesman hasn't made the decision.
The watch made the decision.
The technology's made the decision. Really unlucky. Tried to clear it, didn't quite get it. We're talking about Revon. He nearly put us back in front.
Yeah.
Very quick, very alert. I like him sort of going forward. As we saw in the Bolton game, can defend a bit as well.
Yeah.
And I was really, really pleased. So 1-1 at half time. Brunt scored an own goal. I felt a bit sorry for him on Tuesday because he looked nervous. He looked a little bit shaky. I think you've got to maybe remember that he is still a young lad.
How old is he?
23? 2? He's young.
He's down there.
Yeah, 22-ish, 23-ish, something like that. So, he's a young lad. Just moved to a new area. He wants to impress. This is a big opportunity for him. And he just looked a little bit apprehensive at times, a little bit nervous. Don't think he had his best game. Scored an own goal. yeah, it wasn't ideal for him, but yeah, I don't know. It was just one of them, really. I felt for him a little bit because I could see the effort was there, and I could see he's got the talent.
Yeah,
it just wasn't his day. Really wasn't. You were talking about Callum Burton. They got
slash Anthony Ford.
It's slash Anthony Ford. They got a penalty. Saved it really well.
Yeah.
It was just a bit unlucky because the rebound was put in by somebody else.
Yeah.
And I thought all round for Burton, I think, yes, they scored 4, but I am with you. I thought he had a really good game. I think it could have been more, only for some of the saves that he made. He made some really good saves.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a decent keeper there, and I'm very happy that we've got a good deputy.
Backup.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it was one of them. Revon got one back right at the end, made it a bit more respectable. 4-2.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
So.
We're out of the cup.
Does anyone care?
I don't know. I mean,
for me personally, no.
And you know, we're out it's the EFL Cup.
The Carabao Cup.
Yes. So it's in the middle. So in my opinion, you might have your own opinions, but for anybody who's new to sort of like, you know, English football or to Wrexham, so the EFL Cup is sort of like the middle cup. So the most important thing, in my opinion, is the league. You know, that's your bread and butter, your weekly fixtures, week in, week out. The next one down from that for me is the FA Cup. Really, you know, long-standing, prestigious competition, known around the world, knockout competition. You know, that's one that everyone wants to do well in.
Yeah.
Next one down from that is the EFL Cup. And then the next one down from that, which nobody cares about whatsoever, unless you get to the final, you get a day out at Wembley. That's the EFL Trophy, the one at the bottom.
Is that the Bristol Street Rovers one?
Motors. Bristol. You're mixing Bristol Street Motors with Bristol Rovers there.
Do you know why? Because me and Alfie were talking about Bristol Rover. Oh, Christ. Yeah. Bristol Rovers today.
Yeah.
Because one of his favourite YouTubers supports Bristol Rovers. So that's why yeah.
Okay. Right.
But anyway.
Yes. So that's the sort of you can make up your own opinions about which competition is more important than the other, but that's where I'm at.
Ultimately, the league is the most important.
The league and the FA Cup are the things I always care about.
Yeah.
The EFL Cup or the League Cup or the Carabao Cup or whatever you want to call it, or the EFL Trophy, I'm not hugely bothered by them. And I know that sounds like a fan of a club that's just gone out of a competition going, didn't want to be in it anyway. It genuinely isn't. I don't care.
I've always said that I'm not a fan of these extracurricular trophy games.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the Bolton game now, and obviously, like Ryan said, he preps notes beforehand, and there are a couple of little notes in here that you've put, which are absolutely wrong.
Yeah, so I started prepping notes the day before of what our plan was.
The intention.
Yeah, our plan absolutely didn't go to plan. It was so we left nice and early, basically.
We did.
Kick off at 3:00. Plan was to get to the ground at 12 because that's when the car park right outside the ground opened. So get there for 12, park the car, go for a nice little walk down the road, go and have some lunch, and then come back for 1:30, get in the ground, couple of beers, whatever. That was the plan. And it was going pretty well. Picked me dad up.
Yep.
Picked your dad up.
Yep.
We were 10 minutes ahead of schedule. We were like, this is great. Driving along, and I was like, we don't want to get there actually when the sat-nav's telling us we're going to get there.
Ryan's fault.
Because it was a case of we don't want to get there then because the car park won't be open. So we need to maybe stop somewhere along the way. Anyway, before we could make a decision about where we're going to stop, we hit traffic. So the whole journey should have taken us an hour and 5 minutes. It is literally down the road. Really simple, 62 miles or whatever it is. You know, an hour and 5 minutes, and we should have been there. It took us 2.5 hours in the end, give or take.
Yes.
I would say 2.5 hours, if not a little bit longer on top of that, because obviously we've left our house half an hour before that to pick up, you know, and pick up again. It was horrible. Horrible. I mean, there was part of the motorway that had been reduced down to one lane. I'm not going to dwell on this too long because this isn't a traffic podcast. This is a football podcast. But it wasn't the best start to the day. You know, knowing that it's Sunday, you know, you've been stuck in a car for 2.5 hours on a journey that should have only taken an hour. And then, you know, all I could keep thinking was, I mean, I've got to get up at 4 a.m. to be in work, and I'm just sat here, and this is really annoying. If we go there and we lose, it's just going to be an absolute disaster of a day. We got there in the end, late, but before the gates opened, so we didn't get to go for our little walk to get some food. So we thought we'd get some food inside. We waited outside, gates open, got inside, first to the bar, which I've never had anywhere. So loaded up on beer and food and all that sort of stuff. And then we went out into the ground. So we were in the upper tier, just so everyone can get a clear idea of where we are. You haven't been to many football grounds in your short supporter life, whatever we're going to call it that, I don't know. When you walked out and saw the stadium for the first time, what was your initial thoughts?
I just thought it was pretty good.
Yeah?
The pitch looked massive.
Yeah, no, it's strange.
Because we were quite high up.
Yes.
I think we were 4 rows from the back of the top tier.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. It was a really, you know, to be fair, it is a really good stadium. It's a nice stadium. We've got a hotel like within the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, the only downside is they didn't have a lift, so we had to walk up like 5 flights of stairs.
6.
6.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't sound very much, but when you're waiting for a hip operation,
yeah,
and it's a lot. But yeah, I was impressed. I was. I thought that considering it's such a big, vast stadium, I wasn't that impressed with the size of the concourse.
No, I think, right, so you didn't see all of the concourse.
Oh, okay.
So you saw the one bit, but then that bit that we were in, they had that again. Further down, they had another bar and all, you know, a little bit further down. So you didn't quite see it all. And then the further round, they had like a halftime express drinks thing or something.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So I thought it was a decent stadium. And look, it's one that we can now tick off our list because I'd not been there before. I was impressed with it.
Yeah, it was good.
But anyway, let's move on to the football.
We actually sat in the seats that we were allocated because
weirdly, because we never do that.
No, we don't. But I think because, you know, we're in the league that we're in and it's such a massive capacity stadium, I was concerned that if we just sat in 3 different seats and then the people came along and they were adamant that they were going to sit in their seats, and then we would go to our seats, and I just thought, you know what?
Well, one thing we always do is if we're early enough, which we usually are, we always like to have a little look where our seats are. The ones that we've actually been allocated, we'd never sit in them, but we always have a little look. And I think for the Bolton game, we said, oh, let's go and have a look at our seats. We went to have a look and we went, oh, this is all right, actually.
They were really good seats.
So then we were like, we'll just stay here. Yeah. So that's sort of why that we did that, because we're definitely not one of the you're in my seat brigade, 100%. It's very much, I'm a huge believer in sit where you want, to be perfectly honest. It just so happened that we went there and we went, yeah, this will do. Right. This will do, actually. Yeah, and we'll sit here. So Same lineup as we had last week against Wycombe, apart from one change, which was Barney out and Seb came in on the right, which it's quite nice to know he's versatile and can play on the right and the left.
Yep.
Because I was a bit worried that, we've signed a left wing back. Jimmy plays at left wing back, so what are we going to do?
Yeah, but we all know that Jimmy's good in any position.
Yeah, we do. Although, having said that, what do you then do? You throw him in the midfield mix, which we all already know is an absolute nightmare for who you're going to pick and what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So, but now I understand a little bit more that he's got some versatility and he can play on the right and he can play on the left. And he looked really comfortable on that side. He has a good turn of pace. He's got some speed. He knows how to defend, which I think for me is a big plus. Because what we tend to do, what we have done is, if you look at Bolton and you look at Barney, we tend to sign players who are wingers and then go, and by the way, you've got to defend now as well. And they go, sorry, what?
Yeah.
And they're sort of learning that. And a lot of them have done that a little bit before. But, like when we brought Bolton in from Salford, he was an out-and-out winger. He was not really doing any defending at all. He was a winger. So, the fact that Seb can defend, and he looked really comfortable defending. He was always on the right side. He made some good tackles. He got tackles in on occasions that you were sort of looking at going, I don't think he had any right getting that, to be honest.
Yeah.
He got caught once or twice, but it wasn't really detrimental, and didn't really create any sort of huge chances. He looks great going forward as well, which is another big plus. But I think, when you've already got Barney there, who already looks great going forward. He looks comfortable in this league, Barney does.
He does.
So for me, it's really nice that we've now got this healthy competition for places. What I hope doesn't happen is we've just got this constant turning wheel of players who are, one week it's Barney, the next week it's Seb. And then Seb's going to move from the left to the right and then back to the right again and this and that. I like that we've got it. Just maybe you don't have to use it all the time.
Yeah.
It's there if you need it, maybe. I do like a little bit of a settled team, but in a long season in League One, I think sort of rotation is going to be... you all right there?
Sorry, I thought I had dirt on me, but it's a bruise. And It really hurt when I just did that.
Yeah, okay. Look, so the game itself... I thought... I was worried going into this.
I know you were.
Because the most important thing for me at Bolton was...
Not to lose.
No, it wasn't even that. I didn't want to go there and come away from that game thinking, we might be out of our depth here. Because Bolton, strong team, they got to the playoff final last year after finishing third in the league. They're pushing on and they want to be up there again this season. What I didn't, it was literally that. I didn't want to walk away and go, well, hang on a minute. They are clearly so much better than us, and we've got such a long...
2 games into the season, we're getting battered already.
Not even that. If they'd have just beat us 1-0, but it was just... there was such a clear golfing class.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be coming away from that game thinking, we're going to struggle this season.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I was at half-time, I was sort of stood there, and I was happy because I felt we'd created...
Well, you had a beer in your hand, so...
I did. And...
Like a pig in...
Poop.
The proverbial.
Yeah, so, and it might have been the 3 beers I had before the game. I'd already elevated my mood.
And the cheeseburger.
And the cheeseburger, yes.
Yeah.
But But that was really important for me today, and I think that's what added to the nerves. I didn't want to be looking ahead at a season, going, well, if we're out of our depth here, we're probably going to be out of our depth there, and maybe there, and maybe even there, and you all of a sudden you start second guessing all these games as to where potentially you might be out of your depth. But as I say, half time, I'm sitting there, I was going, do you know what? We've created a bit. They've created a bit. I don't think anybody had a real clear opportunity. Look, you have to remember, we've seen this game once from quite far away. So if we do say something, you go, I don't quite agree with that. We haven't had a chance to watch it back yet. So, please comment down below, but don't shoot us. So, I was happy at half time that I thought we were very much in the game, and it's all that I wanted from today. I wasn't necessarily bothered about 3 points. I just wanted to come away from there going, do you know what? We're where we're meant to be, and we've got a real chance to compete against anyone in this league, home or away. And that's what I wanted. And at half time, I felt that. I would say maybe Bolton edged the first half. They looked a lot more comfortable on the ball than we did. They moved it around a little bit better than we did. But you could probably put that down to they're at home and they've got 25,000 fans.
You wouldn't have thought it, though. Sort
of cheering them on. But, they're at home and they want to do it. They were very much up for it.
Yeah.
Not more than McAtee. You saw him waving at the crowd and stuff. Obviously, he turned us down to go and sign for Bolton. If you believe all the rumours, he didn't get the best reception from us, but hey ho.
And I think the Wrexham fans were saying not worth the money or something.
Yeah,
like
I think so.
They?
Yeah. So anyway, I think second half there was a bit more of the same. I thought
straight away after the whistle went in the second half, it was like there was a few chances, wasn't there, from both sides?
Yeah, we had one. Arthur made a really good save. Arthur made some decent saves today.
He was good.
He was really good. I think. Did you say he got man of the match?
He got the EFL Player of the Match. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
I thought he was decent. I liked the way that I don't think we were as progressive as we were last week. There was again, you can sort of put it down to the fact that we're away from home, against a really good team, and we want to keep it tight and compact.
Against 25,000 opposing fans.
Exactly. And you don't have to be so gung ho in getting the ball forward. I would have liked it to have been a bit more progressive, but there was a lot more sideways and backwards. Back to the sort
usual.
Of the usual.
Yeah.
But I wasn't that against it.
To be honest, I think being obviously in the crowd and everything. At half time, I think kind of morale and things were quite high with fans.
Yeah.
I think when we obviously did our predictions, I was just mental and I said 2-1. I never for 1 second thought that, no, actually, that's a lie.
Yeah.
I thought we had a chance.
Yes.
But anyway, so a lot of fans were saying that they'd be happy with a draw. A lot of people were saying, unfortunately, I don't like to say it, but I think that Bolton are going to beat us.
Yeah.
So I think when it went in at half time and it was still 0-0, I think a lot of fans were like, oh, do you know what? If we can just hold on to this or even just score one goal, I think this will be a good game.
Don't get me wrong, I think if we could have been a little bit more clinical, there were a couple of opportunities where I think if just a little bit more composure, we might have got a little bit more out of that game than we were expecting. I think it was a good time to play a team like Bolton away from home. A lot of the time early in the season, teams are still trying to find their feet and they're not quite up to full speed. I'm very happy to get a game against one of the so-called big teams in this league away from home. I'm glad that one's out of the way because, potentially if you were to play them in 2, 3, 4 months at their stadium, it might not turn out the same way. We're going to get a bit of a roll on as well, and we're going to figure things out. So, I'm not saying it would be, all Bolton or anything like that. but it was a very assured performance today.
I truly believe if we can give a performance against a team like Bolton at their stadium, can you imagine what kind of performance we can give on our own turf?
Yeah, against some of the teams, you do look around some of these teams in the league and you go, right, okay, based on what we've seen in a very short time that the season's been going on, we've only played 2 games in the league, but from what we've seen so far, you do look around at some of these teams and go, we should be beating you, we should be beating you, we should be beating you. Okay, that'll be a tough game, but we should be beating you, we should be beating you. There's plenty, I'm starting to feel today was the key for me, where I could finally breathe a little bit and go, right, we're not out of our depth. I don't think I ever believed we were, but it's just like, it's nice to have that confirmed back to you that, no, we're not out of our depth. We're where we belong, and we have a good chance of beating any of these teams in this league.
Yeah.
Some of them a bigger chance than the others.
Yeah.
It's been a great week. I think a really good week. Forget the EFL Cup. Chester are bottom of their league. Shrewsbury are bottom of League One. We're doing all right.
What are we now then?
I did write it down, I think. We are 8th in the league. So I'm happy. 4 points from 2, you could argue, difficult opening games.
Yeah.
So I'm more than happy with that. It's good. Quick shout out to a few people in the, we've got an Fantasy EFL League. So first in that league at the moment is Drew. Second is C. Chandler. And third is G. Jackson. We don't have C. Chandler and G. Jackson. We don't know your first names. Please comment down below, and then we can start calling you by your actual names. But Drew, congratulations. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't forget that.
Oh, Christian, you were so close.
Yeah, Christian was I think he was number 1 on Saturday, and he's dropped out the top 3. But hey, like I said,
it's a marathon.
It is a marathon, not a sprint. Right, so let's have a little chat. We're playing Reading.
We are on Saturday, the 24th of August. It's the 3rd league game of the season. It's obviously at the Stoke Kairas. What? Sorry, they drew 1-1 with Birmingham on the opening day of the season, and they went out of the EFL Cup last Tuesday on penalties to Colchester.
They did. They won 2-0 on Saturday, just gone, and they're currently sitting in 5th in the league. So decent.
Yeah, you're worried about this one as well, aren't you? Probably not as worried as the Bolton game.
No, I'm not worried. See, it's weird for me because I've been watching football for near on 40 years. So a lot of these teams, Bolton, Birmingham, Reading, I've seen them play in the Premier League. So the name pops up and you think they're higher. You think they're in higher divisions than they actually are. So you go, hang on a minute, they're in the same division as us. And it blows your mind for a minute. They have struggled over the last few years because of a bit of a dodgy owner. Almost went out of business. I think they're struggling a little bit at the moment, and the owner's trying to offload it and sell it. I'm not so much worried, but it's a tough game. This one's going to be.
Yeah.
So they're the 11th favourite with the bookies to win the league. They finished 17th in the league last season. They've had major problems with Dai Young, his name is, like I said, and I don't know what the situation is with Reading at the moment. I think they're up for sale, but as far as I'm aware, no sale has been agreed with anybody. Dai Young has actually sold off Reading's training ground as well. He sold it to Wycombe, that's bizarre and crazy, that is. But
Wycombe Rugby.
Wycombe what? Sorry? No,
Wycombe. Oh my God. Do you know what? When you said Wycombe, right, the spelling in my head was not Wycombe Wanderers spelling.
No.
So I thought, sorry.
Yes.
I think we need to go to sleep.
I think
so soon.
Look, our last league games with Reading were in 2001. We lost both of them 2-0. home and away.
Great.
In the last 20 years, they've predominantly been a championship team, but have also spent 3 years in the Premier League. Phil Parkinson, our very own Phil Parkinson, has played 350 games for Reading. He actually scored against Wrexham for Reading at one point as well, which is quite an interesting little stat for you. Top scorers last season were Sam Smith and Harvey Nibbs, both with 16. Charlie Savage is still at Reading.
Oh, yes.
We remember Charlie, don't we?
We do remember Charlie, yes.
He
dropped into our DMs, didn't he?
He did drop. He slid into our DMs.
Oh, that's it. Slid, not dropped.
There was a bit of a rumour that Charlie Savage was going to sign for Wrexham. He replied to one of our tweets saying, look, I'm not going to go into it. We didn't go into it at the time, but he said something that the Reading fans took offence to because it could have been sort of construed in two different ways, I think.
Yeah.
So he sort of slid into our DMs and said, would you mind just deleting that? Not in that voice, but
he might have done.
He might have done. And we said yes, and we had a little chat with him, and he was very nice, lovely guy. So we helped him out a little bit and deleted it because he was getting a bit of abuse, but he's still there,
which is good for him.
Good for him. So we might send him a little DM.
Good luck on Saturday.
Yes. Any chance of you signing for us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Predictions.
Do you know what? Right.
Do you know what?
I feel like, I don't know what accent that is. I feel like I want to be really positive. I feel like after the Wycombe game and our win against Wycombe and then our draw against Bolton, I think, like you said, those were two crucial games.
Yes.
Obviously, the first game of the season's always like a nerve-wracking one because you come in, but new team members and all that jazz. Although I don't think there was any new ones on. Oh yeah, there was. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with 3-2 to Wrexham.
You're gonna go 3-2.
I'm gonna go 3-2.
I'm gonna simplify it right back. I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Wrexham win.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I just want to see us another good defensive display like we showed against Bolton would be good. A little disappointed to have conceded 2 against Wycombe, especially at home.
Yeah.
Look, we've shown at Bolton that we can be solid and, we can keep teams out. So I'd really like to see a clean sheet and, just nick it 1-0. That'll do me. Happy with that.
But if you could try and get 3-2 so that we can get our prediction scores off the ground.
1-0's fine. Don't listen to her. 1-0. It's perfectly fine and acceptable.
Anyway.
Do you think? Here's a question for you. Do you reckon we might see Mullin back on the bench for Reading?
Well, he's back in training.
Yes.
You thought he may have possibly been on the bench today.
I just had this sneaky feeling because they'd released the story of him being back in training. I was just like, why would you even do that? And then I thought he was... I know. But I just wondered if he was just going to pop up on the bench and everyone was going to go, oh, he's back. But
well, that's what it was like last season, wasn't it? Everyone was like, oh, Mullin's on the bench. Possibly, maybe not for the Reading game.
Maybe Peterborough?
Maybe
Shrewsbury. That's a good one to come back for, isn't it?
Yeah, because he's
Local
got
derby.
That's the 7th of... Obviously, the Shrewsbury game is the 7th of September.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of time between like now and
weeks.
then. So that's a possibility. But who knows? If he's back in training. The thing with Paul Mullin is he is very good at... I was going to say very good at getting injured, but that's not what I meant. He's very good at coming back from injury.
He seems to be, doesn't he?
He's sort of like an elastic band. He snaps, but then he kind of pings back. Yeah. So I think it will be one of those ones where it could be Reading, it could be Peterborough, but I think it's probably more likely to going to be the game against Shrewsbury. So yeah, all right. In my opinion.
I'm so tired, so let's move on. A quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 calls. One is on a Thursday at
7:30.
7 p.m.
Oh, is it?
Don't listen to Sian. At 7 p.m. and that is for men. And there's one on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. Best thing to do is follow Steve Lloyd on X, and that is at DragonChat WXMFC. Right, let's do the quiz and let's get out of here. Are you ready? I can't remember the last time I was this tired, and we haven't done that much.
You've driven and stuff.
I don't know, it just feels so drained. I'm not, just if anyone from Sky's watching, I'm not a big fan of moving our games to Sunday, if I'm honest.
Yeah, especially when you've got to go before 4 o'clock the next day.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Unless it's at home.
Yeah, I'm sure there's loads of people who work for Sky who listen to our podcast. So, yeah.
If you do, get us on your show.
I don't mind 12:30 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't mind an early kick-off. Although we were planning on going to Bristol Rovers just before Christmas, because I thought Bristol just before Christmas, that'd be really nice. They've moved that to 12:30, so that's a little bit of a grievance. So I'm not always all right with the 12:30 either. Just leave them at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Stop annoying us. And
yeah, but they can't be shown on thingy then.
Just leave the football alone. Haven't you got enough money by now? Just give football back to the BBC and let it be free. And let everyone watch it. Why do we have to pay £100 a month just to watch football? No wonder so many people find other ways of watching football when it's so expensive. It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'm losing. I think I'm going a bit delirious now.
Digressing.
Yes. Okay, question 1.
Yeah.
We spent the whole second half at Bolton staring at their goalkeeper. But what number was he wearing? Excuse me, what were you going to say?
11.
11 for a goalkeeper?
All right, number 1 then.
It was number 1,
well,
yes.
I'm having that then.
Well, he said 11, which was...
well, it's got 2 1s in it.
Which was frankly ludicrous, but yes.
It's because Marriott was at this end... and quite a lot when he was obviously defending.
Marriott always plays in goal?
Well, no, he had number 11. Anyway, yeah, number 1, I'm having that.
Okay, Bolton made 5 subs in our game on Sunday, but how many subs did we make?
Okay, so we had Rathbone came on, Rathbone even.
Rathbone.
Stephen Fletcher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elliot Lee, Rathbone, swap. Stephen Fletcher, Ollie Palmer, swap.
Just a number. I don't need to know all this.
No, I know. I'm going to say... I'm trying to think. I know, I'm sure... I'm just going to say 2?
2.
3.
Which one is it? 2 or 3?
3.
3.
It's 2, isn't it?
Look, stop.
3.
It is 3.
3.
George Evans was the other
That's
one that you couldn't think about.
Yes.
Just in case, I think a few people were expecting us to talk about Ollie Rathbone a little bit. I do have quite extensive notes on Ollie Rathbone, a few points that I want to raise. I was going to do it this week, but I've decided to shelve it and do it next week because I want to see what happens in the Reading game before I go all out and talk about that. So just in case anyone was wondering. Or maybe no one was. Okay.
2 for 2?
2 for 2. Yeah, 2 for 2. So as I said, Shrewsbury are currently bottom of League One. So Shrewsbury are currently bottom of League One.
So are Chester.
Chester are bottom of National League North. Yes, sorry. So Shrewsbury are currently bottom.
Yes.
Have I said that bit?
Are Shrewsbury bottom by any chance?
I'll rewind. Shrewsbury are currently bottom of League One. Name the other teams in the relegation places. Oh, sorry. I thought you turned off for a minute.
I have, because I have no idea.
You have no idea.
Wickham.
Wickham? No.
Peterborough.
No.
I don't know.
It's Cambridge, Wigan and Blackpool. Currently in there. Name one Bolton player that played today.
Oh,
I didn't. Is he? It sounds an exotic name, that one.
I don't know his first name. I know that he's...
What's that?
Ateta. No. Akata.
I don't know who that would have been.
Oh, he was rumoured to come to us and he signed for Bolton. Attacker.
Attacker? He's an attacker.
No, you know what his name... No, you know what I'm trying...
I know what his name is. You clearly don't.
I do, but I just can't pronounce it.
His first name's John. I'll give you that one. So it's not...
John Ateta.
John Ateta.
John Akhtar.
No.
John Ateta.
No, that is...
John Akhtar.
No, that's still incorrect.
John Attacker.
Attacker? Stop saying attacker.
Starts with an A. Does it start with an A?
It does not, no.
Oh. I can't remember.
It's McAtee.
Flip. I knew it was...
Yeah, I mean, Nathan Baxter, Ricardo Santos, George Johnson, Josh Sheehan. Look, there's quite a few you could have picked from. You've got very fixated on one player. As it turned out, you didn't know what his name was.
To be fair, though,
yeah.
I don't usually pay attention to the Bolton players.
No.
Because why would I? I'm never going to see him again.
No, that's true.
Well, I will, but...
You will, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Okay, last question. We play Reading this Saturday.
We do.
But who did they beat Saturday just gone? That's a strange little noise.
It was, wasn't it? I read it out. Reading. I'm going to say Birmingham. I don't know.
No. Wigan.
Oh, for Christ's sake. I got 2.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did.
I
did.
I'm assuming the 2 that you're claiming is the goalkeeper number that you originally said 11 for, and then change your mind.
11's got 2 ones in it, so technically.
And then the subs. Oh, yeah, of course. You weren't doing Arteta, were you? John Arteta.
There is a player called Arteta, isn't there?
Arteta, he's Arsenal's manager. Mikel Arteta. I think
the names are in my head, but they get all jumbled.
You give John McAtee a much more exotic name than he's actually got, didn't you?
Akateta.
Just McAtee. Anyway, look, I don't know if this has been any good this week, I'll be honest, but we tried. If there was a little badge for try, we've tried.
Or could try harder.
Definitely could try harder, but we wanted you to have something.
To be honest, like you said at the beginning, we do try to keep it real. We are human. Ryan works full time. I will be starting to work full time again tomorrow. So, we're parents. We keep it real.
Sound like you were telling some sob story then.
Well, yeah, we just keep it real.
Look, we've had a go this week, haven't we?
We sound so deflated. We've given it a go.
Do you know what?
We're not sure whether it's going to be crap or not.
And it has annoyed me this weekend. It was a great result at Bolton. It really was, and I'm really proud of all the lads for the effort they put in and the performance they put in.
Yes.
Sky slightly knocked the stuffing out of the enjoyment that should have been this weekend by moving it to a Sunday. It just it sort of dragged a bit of the fun out of it for me, if I'm honest. It really did, because I think this was a really good Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff, and it was one of them days that could have, you could have built your Saturday around, and as it was a Sunday, and it was really weird, and I didn't know where my head was at, and I just feel like, I just hope Sky don't stick their nose into too many of our games this season.
I think they're going to.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. So, thank you very much for joining us this week. Please, we are going to try again and do a halftime show and a full-time show.
The full-time show definitely will happen.
Let's put it like this. After the game on Saturday against Reading, there will 100% be a full-time show where we'll review the game quickly. You can come on and you can make comments. We always try to endeavour to do a halftime show. So far this season, it hasn't worked out, but keep an eye out and we'll try our best. Until then, see ya. Have a great week. Wouldn't want to be here. Bye.